And was gracious every time. Didn't cuss me out. Didn't say, Negro, we're trying to honor you. She was very sweet and wonderful. And I love her for that. And I want to thank her for doing this work, because dealing with literacy and black people is seen to be an oxymoronic statement in the broader culture that refuses to acknowledge our fundamental humanity. Right? It refuses to acknowledge us as people. And we see this every day. You can go to the right school, marry the right woman, live in public housing in Washington, D.C., 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and still not be recognized for what you're doing. And then they will kill you at top and execute you at the bottom. And so literacy is a bulwark against the vicious, dehumanizing impulse of a society that refuses to acknowledge our humanity. And it's also the beautiful expression of our humanity at our best as we try to give voice to those ideas and sentiments and passions that not only motivate us individually, but motivate and inspire us as a community. I was inspired as a young person by James Baldwin, and then Ralph Ellison, and then later on Toni Morrison, and by, my next door neighbor who was a black Republican. But back when being a Republican didn't mean the kind of vicious, willful neglect of human character that has, before our eyes, transmogrified into a party that spits on the very graves of those who made us who we are. And so she gave me the Harvard Classics at 14. She could have gave them to the library, right? Where the lives are buried. You got to go there and dig them up. That's what I tell my students. And she gave me the Harvard Classics. So I'm listening to William Robinson, the great poet. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl. Because I'm in Detroit. Also listening to Lord Tennyson, though much is taken, much abides, and though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are. One equal temper for Lord, hearts made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Of course, being inspired by Langston Hughes and being inspired by the great poets of our tongue. But I also understood that we could also absorb and appropriate the best traditions of literacy that are being put forth by the dominant culture, because we were unafraid of them, because we recognize their character. Often the street has not been two ways. We have not been recognized for what we do, for the kind of work we do, for the writing that we do, for the intelligence we possess, and for the tremendous humanity that writing embodies. And there are so many young, brilliant scholars out here doing their thing. James Peterson, William Jelani Cobb. When I think of Salamisha Tillett or Imani Perry, there are extraordinary young people out here who are doing the work, who are writing books. And I'm so glad that y'all have honored me, read my books, because I've been fighting through those books a long time for serious issues and unapologetically for black folk. Right? And we got to go against stereotype. My sweetie pie, Melissa Ford, is here, and here is a young lady. We see she's obviously deserving of the tremendous encomiums that have been bestowed upon her majestic head and frame. But she's got an intelligence. She's got a mind. She's got a brain. So people refuse to acknowledge the presence of intellect because they're dismissive of the beauty that's there. Can't you see the cohabitation of the two? They're coterminous, simultaneous, at the damn same time. The same way for black people, because we had style, because we had rhythm, because we had athleticism, because we could spit. And you're honoring Nas up in here today. I don't need to be spitting, but we did a book on Nas. It's only right that I was born to use mics, and the stuff that I write is even tougher than dice. I'm taking rapping to a new plateau through rap slow. My rhyming is a vitamin, hell without a capsule. A smooth criminal beat breaks. Never put me in your box if your shit eats taste. So that's the raison d'etre of philosophy and hip hop right there. the high intelligence of young black people brought to bear upon the social structures that prevent the flourishing of vulnerable people. So I try to do that in my books. I try to articulate ideas, wrestle with serious concepts that allow people to get intimately acquainted with our intellectual power, but also with the beauty of our humanity. So I'm honored to receive this award. I'm grateful to be here. I'm thankful for all these great people who are being honored on this same program. Eric Dickey, Elliott Wilson, Danielle Smith, my sweetie pie, and beloved, and of course, the great rapper Nas. It's an honor to be here. This is a great tradition. We've been doing this from the get-go. They just didn't recognize it. We've been struggling through literacy from the very beginning, and now we got folk who are spitting it. I'm teaching a class on Jay-Z at Georgetown right now. I got 140 students, and we're talking about Greek poetry. We're talking about Afro-Homeric traditions. We're talking about Homer who could neither read nor write, and yet he is being re-articulated through a Jay-Z, a Nas, a Lauryn Hill. So don't sleep on the genius of your own children. Don't nullify the profound impact of the literacy they bear. But at the same time, ain't no either or. Ain't just you got to be into hip-hop. Read a book. I write books like niggas write books. That's what I do. And represent and tell the truth about the world in which we live. I'm going over here to MSNBC right now, talking about how they executed Troy Davis last night. That's literacy too. I'm trying to talk about Obama. I'm defending that brother, but also the man. Right, I'm defending him. Love the way he walk, love the way he talk, love the swagger, but get more of it. You trying to impress people who will never recognize you and who will never love you. Dance with the one that brung you. Negroes got you up in there. Swing by and kiss us on the way too. Love that brother. Love y'all. Let's do it together. Thank you so much for listening.